And he endorsed me. In dropping out, he endorsed me, so I appreciate that very much.
The big story tonight, Governor Ron DeSantis suspending his presidential campaign.
He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed-over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents. The days of putting Americans last, of kowtowing to large corporations, of caving to woke ideology are over.
Well, DeSantis is back in Florida tonight after canceling an event earlier today in Manchester. Fox Business correspondent Madison Allworth joins us live with more on the DeSantis dropout. Madison.
Kaylee, the restaurant next to me was supposed to host Governor Ron DeSantis tonight and mark his return to New Hampshire. Instead, now it marks his exit from the 2024 race for president. DeSantis took to social media to announce that he was dropping out and to throw his support behind President Trump.
If there was anything I could do to produce a favorable outcome, more campaign stops, more interviews, I would do it. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory.
Despite finishing second in Iowa, DeSantis didn't gain traction here in New Hampshire. The most recent polls showed the Florida governor with only 6%. President Trump, who had regularly mocked DeSantis on the campaign trail, showed appreciation for the governor's endorsement, telling Fox News Digital, quote, "Very honored to have his endorsement. I look forward to working together with him to beat Joe Biden, who is the worst and most corrupt president in the history of our country." Now, there were some DeSantis supporters who still showed up to the restaurant this evening, and they spoke to us. All of them were disappointed, but they also understood why he made the decision to drop out. One supporter telling us he's not sure who he's going to support now.
I absolutely will not support Nikki Haley. Her behavior in this race has been well beneath the Republican nominee, and Donald Trump's behavior has never been something that as a father of two young children I could support in the White House. So we're going to have to figure things out going forward, and I don't know who we're going to support, but it's going to be very difficult to stomach supporting either one of those candidates because they don't represent the values and the future of the Republican Party.
The decision to drop out did not come out of left field. Rumors started circulating Saturday night that the campaign may be ending when DeSantis canceled all 3 of his planned appearances on network Sunday morning shows. The campaign quickly tried to squash any talk about the governor pulling out of the race by saying it would return to New Hampshire to stump through the primary Tuesday. But those rumors, they turned out to be true. Ron DeSantis, who was once considered the front runner for the 2024 race for president, has now dropped out before the very first primary. Kaylee?
Madison, thank you. Now we go to Martha McCallum, who just spoke with President Trump before his rally. Martha McCallum, you got the first interview after this. What did President Trump have to say?
Hi, Kaylee. We did. You can hear the crowd is getting very excited behind me. They're chanting, "We want Trump." We just were downstairs speaking to President Trump moments ago to get his reaction, his first on-camera reaction to Governor DeSantis pulling out of this race. I believe you guys have a piece of that sound. You want to go to it?
Well, look, he worked very hard. It's a tough go. And he worked hard. His wife is a terrific woman. They both worked very hard. And he endorsed me. In dropping out, he endorsed me. So I appreciate that very much. And I think we'll do very well. I think we were headed to a very big victory on Tuesday, just like in Iowa. And I think maybe now it even gets to be bigger because most of those people are going to go with me, I suspect.
So, Kaylee, you can hear in his tone, I asked him a couple of times if he had spoken with the Florida governor. There was a lot of acrimony between these two candidates for a very long time. We know that President Trump felt that it was very disloyal. He used that word a lot about Ron DeSantis. There was a moment in all of this when Governor DeSantis was leading in the polls. In the beginning of 2023, he was #1 in New Hampshire. Now he was in single digits. He said there was clearly not a path for him. But I was very interested to hear that there had not been a conversation, no discussion, at least at this point, about campaigning together. I asked him if there might be a role for DeSantis potentially in his administration. He said we're not there yet in terms of that kind of discussion. So really no communication is the takeaway from the interview that I just did at this point, which is interesting. So we'll see where that goes.